In this section, we are going to learn about the relation between the slopes of two lines, if they are either parallel or perpendicular. So, if either of the relation is there between the two lines and slope of only one line is known, we can easily figure out the slope of the another line. So, there are two cases. The first case when the lines are parallel. When the lines are parallel, the condition is the slope of the first line is equal to the slope of the second line. Similarly, when the lines are perpendicular, this time the slopes are not equal actually, but product of slopes of both the lines is equal to -1. Or we can say that slope of one line is equal to the negative reciprocal of the slope of the second line. Let's have an example. We are given two pairs of lines and we have to check whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Let's take them one by one. Let's continue with the first pair. We are given first line and the second line. Both lines contain 2 points. So we assume the first line and let's label the points as x1, y1 and x2, y2. We assume the slope of the first line to be m1. The formula, it's y2 negative y1 over x2 negative x1. We can substitute the values now. -4, -8 over 2, negative and -2. We simplify this. It's going to be 4. As we simplify this, we get -3. Now we get the slope of the second line. We are given 2 points, so we label them as x1, y1 and x2, y2 again. And this time we get the slope of the second line as m2. The formula is still similar. y2 negative y1 over x2 negative x1. Let's substitute the values, and that's going to be -2, -5. We simplify this, 1 over -2 plus 5, that's going to be 1 over 3. Okay, right now they are obviously not equal, so the lines can't be parallel. That's the first thing. Let us check for perpendicularity. Condition for perpendicularity is m1 times m2 must be equal to -1. Let us check if that's the scenario or not. So we try to get that, and we don't know right now, so we apply a question mark here, and then we'll simplify, we substitute the values, and then we check whether it satisfies this equation or not. I think it satisfies. These two get cut, and we've got -1 equals -1. This is how it fulfills the condition of perpendicularity. So we can consider that yes, the lines are perpendicular. We can say line 1 is perpendicular to line 2. Let's take the second example now. In this example, again we have been given two lines that contain 2 points each. First of all, we have to label them x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's get the slope of the first line. m1 equals y2 negative y1. I'm writing directly now. 7 negative -2 over x2 negative x1. We simplify this. That's going to be 9 over 5. Similarly, we can get the value of the slope of the second line, that is x1, y1, x2, y2. We get the slope of the second line, we label it as m2 now, and now it is y2 negative y1 over x2 negative x1. We simplify this. That's going to be 9 over 4. Okay, these are still not equal, so they can't be parallel again. And for perpendicularity, we can again test. It's m1 times m2 equals -1. We don't know whether it's correct or not, so we apply a question mark. And obviously that's not going to be equal. You can notice that we have 81 over 20 that's not equal to negative 1. So it's neither parallel because they are not equal, nor it's perpendicular. So the answer is neither. In this example, we have to get the slope of a line which is perpendicular to another line which passes through two given points. So first of all, we can get the slope of the line whose 2 points are given to us. Let's say this is the line and 0, comma negative 5 and negative 2, comma 4 are the point which lie in the line. So we can assume this line to be L1 and the slope of this line we can assume as M1. We can apply the formula for the slope, that is y2 negative y1 e over x2 negative x1. We can label these points as x1 y1 and x2 y2. Now let's substitute the values of these points. We can simplify this. So the value for m1 we've got as negative 9 over 2. After that, we assume a line which is perpendicular to the given line. We assume that line to be L2 and we have to consider the slope of this line to be m2. Okay, so that m2 we have to figure out now. So right now we know one thing, that these two lines are perpendicular. So we already have learned the condition for perpendicularity. With the two lines are perpendicular, slope of the first line times slope of the second line is equal to negative 1. That is m1 times m2 equals negative 1. So we already have figured out the value of m1. We can substitute that as negative 9 over 2. So now we can get the value of m2. We simplify this expression and m2 we get as 2 over 9. So that's all about this lesson. Thank you for watching.